Hey guys, I'm back here again with our second video for our part 4 of Tarot Throwdown, which is the Minor Arcana, with some strategies for learning these cards more intuitively or using the guidebook as well. So one way to do this is to go through each of the cards, which is a lengthy process because there's a lot of them. But go through each of the cards and ask yourself, what's the light side to each of these cards? What's the shadow side to each of these cards? So here, for example, in the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a card of sharing, relationships, partnerships. It's generally like a happy sort of card, we would think. What's the light side to this though, and what's the shadow side to this? What is there to be gained in a relationship like this, and what is there to be lost? What is there to be learned? What is there to be explored? There's no right or wrong answer for any of this, and in any given tarot reading, a card can mean 100 million different things depending on the cards that are around it. So the point isn't to get it right. The point is to get thinking. What might be something to be gained from this situation? What might be lost in this interaction here that we see in this card? And go through the cards and ask yourself those questions. What's the light side to this card? What's the shadow side? What's to be gained? What's still to be learned? What could be lost here? And dive into the cards in that way. And then asking yourselves those questions, you might get to know the cards a little bit better and feel more comfortable intuitively reading in the future. You can pull out your guidebook for this, read what the meaning of the card is, and then ask yourself the question, what's the light side here? What's the shadow side, right? Another really cool thing is to take the 4 suits and line them up in order, and line them up, I'm going to try to hold them all, line them up on a top of each other, like put them like this. So you have the ace together and the 10s together, right? And then go through the cards and compare them. What does the 2 of each suit look like? What does the 3 of each suit look like? What do they mean? What's the common threads that we see here? Like I said in the previous video, 5s are conflict cards. So we see that, pattern. But what's the similar and what's different? Like the 10s, that's the way that the cards end, tends to be really different between the suit of cups and pentacles, and then so earth and water, and then the fire and the air, the swords and the wands, have a completely different ending than our cups and our pentacles do. So why might that be? Why to you is that the case? Why do you think it's the case that the thought processes and the action and motivation cards end differently than the cups and the pentacles, the material, wealth, and the emotions? Why do those end kind of on a lighter note, where our swords and our wands end on kind of a heavier note? Go through that, ask yourself these questions, take some notes, write them down, put the cards in order and compare them. Where are they similar? Where are they different? And what's to be gained and learned from each story individually? So that's a strategy for you. Put them in order and look at them. And then also go through the cards individually and ask yourself, what's to be gained here? What's to be lost here? What's to be learned? What's the light side? What's the shadow side? And all of this is going to help you to get to know your cards better and read more intuitively. So get out that journal, because you got a lot of cards to dive into. And again, don't feel like you need to do this all in one day. You can go back through this whole video series and do it as many times as you want, and keep pushing yourself to get more intuitive in your readings. Step into discomfort, because it's uncomfortable reading intuitively in the beginning, because you're like, is this right? Is it wrong? I have no idea. But that's the point. There is no right and wrong. It's your intuition. You're being intuitively led, and until you're able to trust that, it's going to feel uncomfortable. So step into the discomfort, get out your journal, and explore some of these topics. And I'll see you in the next video.